Good morning, everyone. I'm here to explain chapter 3, that is acids, bases, and salts. First of all, I want to explain the meaning of a compound. What is a compound? Compound is formed when two or more elements combine together. So, compounds can be classified into three categories: acids, bases, and salts. Next one is elements combined in a fixed ratio to form compound can be classified, same things are given here. Next, acids can be identified by their sour taste, like bases, they have soapy touch and bitter taste. Salt is a product formed by combination of acids and bases, but all acids and bases are not tasted or touched, or some of them harm the body. They can be recognized by using indicators. Next one is all acids, they are compulsory to have hydrogen as their constituent element in the form of proton. Bases, they are either having metallic oxide or metallic hydroxide. And salt, they are formed when acids or bases react together. Next one is, we will learn first acids. Acid comes from the Latin word acidus, which means sour to taste. And some foods are having also sour taste, so it means they contains acid. Some naturally occurring acids. Here things are given, and here acid present in these things. So important one is apple contains malic acid. Then citrus fruits like orange, lemon, they contain citric acid. Gastric juice, hydrochloric acid. So a string of bee and ants, it's very important, formic acid present. And next one is acids are defined as compounds which contain one or more hydrogen atom, and when dissolved in water produce hydronium ion, the only positively charged ion. It's very important. See, when acid dissolve in water, it dissociate, it ionize, not dissociate, it ionizes into H positive and Cl negative. This H positive is not stable, it combines with water and form hydronium ion. See, H positive and water, hydronium ion. So hydrogen is common in all acids. See this one, two water molecule and two hydrogens together, they will make hydronium ion, and what is left is sulfate ion is next, SO4 2 negative. Next one is, for simplicity, we can also write hydronium ion as H positive. It can also be written as OH3 positive sign is with hydrogen. Next one is classification of acids. Acids can be classified on the basis of sources, basicity, concentration, and strength. First, sources: organic acid, inorganic acid. Organic acids are those which are usually obtained from the plants, and inorganic acids are those which are usually obtained from the minerals. Next, acids are also categorized on the basis of basicity. What is basicity? It is the number of hydrogen ions. See, the basicity of an acid is defined as the number of hydronium ion that can be produced by ionization of one molecule of that acid in aqueous solution. See, this one is HCl. When it dissolves in water, it gives H positive from here combined with water, it gives one hydronium ion and Cl negative. So number of hydronium ion produced. So how many hydronium ions are there? 1. So basicity of an acid is 1. It is monobasic acid. Next one is dibasic. This acetic acid is also monobasic. Why? Because it has one ionizable hydrogen. So it's very important question. Next is dibasic acid. What do you mean by di? Di means 2. So can you give answer? What are dibasic acids? So the acids which furnish two hydronium ions, those are called dibasic acids. See, two hydronium ions, hydrogen is there in the sulfuric acid. First is furnished here and next is furnished here. Two are there, so dibasic acid. Next one is, this question is also very important, basic. Why? Because this is the structure of phosphorus acid. These hydrogens which are attached to the oxygen, these are replaceable, but the hydrogen which is directly attached to the phosphorus is not a replaceable. So how many hydrogens are replaceable? 2. So it is in the category of dibasic acid. Next one is tribasic. Tri stands for 3. So this is phosphoric acid, 3 hydrogens are replaceable, so this is tribasic acid. Another one is tetrabasic. Tetrabasic acid. This one, salicylic acid, is tetrabasic acid. Next one is, on the basis of concentration also we can categorize acid. Concentrated acid, dilute acid. Concentrated means if acid is more, amount of acid is more than amount of water, then it is concentrated. Dilute means if acid is in less quantity as compared to water, then it is dilute. Next one is strength. On the basis of strength, acid can be categorized into strong and weak acid. So strong acid are those which ionizes completely, and weak acids are those which ionizes partially, means which give less ions as compared to the whole. Next one is preparation of acids. Biosynthesis method means a direct combination. Binary acids which contain 2 elements, they can prepare by this method. Like this is binary, these are binary acids, they can prepare by synthesis method. Next one is by the action of water on non-metallic or acidic oxide. These are non-metallic oxide, non-metal oxygen. Non-metallic oxide dissolve in water, give acid. So next one is, it's important, nitrogen dioxide is called mixed or double acid because it gives 2 acids, nitrous as well as nitrous and nitric after dissolution in water. Next one is by the oxidation of non-metal. These are non-metals, these are oxidized by nitric acid to give sulfuric acid, phosphoric acid. Next, by displacement. Properties of acids. There are physical properties and chemical properties of acids. So physical properties, taste, they are sought to taste, and corrosive action, they have corrosive action. Then effect on skin, they have corrosive action on the skin and cause painful burns. Next, they change the color of indicators such as litmus paper, then methyl orange, phenolphthalein, olfactory indicators. Those substances whose smell changes in acidic or basic solution, they are called olfactory indicators. Then these are onion, vanilla, clove, oil, these are olfactory indicators. Next, acids are electrolyte, they conduct electricity in aqueous state. Next is chemical properties. These chemical properties we will do in chapter 8, hydrogen chloride chapter. Same as it is here, different acids are taken and there I will explain with the HCl. So topics are same. This question is important, please underline. Only magnesium and manganese can produce hydrogen with very dilute nitric acid, that is 1% acid, nitric acid, and rest 99% is water. These all properties we will do in that chapter. Next is bases. A base is either a metallic oxide or metallic hydroxide or ammonium hydroxide. See, metallic oxide, metallic hydroxide or ammonium hydroxide, which reacts with acid to give salt and water only. Only 2 products are always there, salt and water. So what is basic oxide? Basic oxide is metallic oxide which contain oxide ion and react with acid to form salt and water only. So take this example. The word only has very much important. This word is very important because when there are more products than salt and water, then this only word is omitted and the oxide is not known as basic oxide. Example, lead 4 oxide. See, lead 4 oxide when reacts with acid, lead chloride is there, salt, water. Here only word we cannot use because chlorine is also there, chlorine gas. Third product is also there. So it is not a basic oxide. Basic oxide always give salt and water only. Next one is basic hydroxide. It is a metallic hydroxide which contain OH and will react with acid to give salt and water only. Hydroxide, metallic hydroxide, acid, salt, water. Alkalis. Alkali is a basic hydroxide which when dissolved in water produce hydroxide ions as the only negative charged ion. This is alkali. When it dissolved in water, it gives as OH negative, hydroxide only as the negative ion. So next one is, these two are strong alkalis and these two are weak alkalis. Strong alkali means they will furnish all the OH negative ion in water, and here some OH negative ion will remain with the compound only. Next, all alkalis are bases, but all bases are not alkalis. It is also important. So these are bases. These alkalis, what are alkalis? Which are soluble bases in water. So these two are insoluble in water. So these two are not alkalis. These are only bases. Next is classification of bases. It is same as we have done classification for acids. I want to explain here. Acidity of a base. The acidity of a base depends upon number of hydroxyl ion or hydroxide ion which can be produced per molecule of a base in aqueous solution. So with the example you will understand better. When Na positive sodium hydroxide dissociate, then it dissociate into Na positive and OH negative. How many OH are there? 1. So it is a monoacidic base. Monoacidic base. Diacidic, di means 2. It can 2 OH are dissociable. So it is diacidic base. It is very confusing, so do it properly. Diacidic base. Next one, triacidic base, which will have 3 dissociable hydroxide ion, replaceable ion. Next, preparation of base from metal, then by the action of water on reactive metals, then by the action of water on soluble metallic oxide. These are metallic oxide soluble and these are bases. Next one is by double decomposition. See, when both the ions are exchanged with another one. See, Fe will attach with OH, combine with OH, and Na will combine with Cl. So this kind of reactions are called double decomposition reaction, and here basic hydroxide are formed. Next, by the action of oxygen on metal sulfide. These are metal sulfide, oxygen, metallic oxide, basic oxide, and sulfur dioxide is the side product. By the decomposition of salt in the presence of heat, calcium carbonate decomposes into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. This is basic oxide. Then by the decomposition of metal nitrate, basic oxides are formed. Ammonium hydroxide can also be prepared by dissolving ammonia gas in water. This is weak alkali. It's also base. Then properties of bases: they are bitter to taste, they are soapy to touch. Next, they are strong electrolytes. They show a mild corrosive action on the skin. Next, chemical properties: strong alkali, carbon dioxide, it give carbonate and water. General reaction: this is strong alkali, carbonate, sodium carbonate will form, and next one is water. Then base or alkali, acid, neutralization reaction, acid base, salt and water. Then precipitation reaction, copper sulfate. This reaction we have done in chapter 4. They precipitate as insoluble metallic hydroxide. These are insoluble hydroxide. These are prepared from metallic salt and alkali or base. Next one is When alkalis are warmed with ammonium salt, ammonia gas is given out. This is ammonium salt, alkali, salt, water and ammonia. Test for acidity and alkalinity. How we can test whether the given solution is acidic or alkaline? We can test it by using various indicators or by using pH paper. So pH, small p and H. P stands for potence, which means power, and H, hydrogen, power of hydrogen. If more hydrogens are there, then it is more acidic. More hydrogen ions are there, then it is more acidic. The pH of a solution is the negative logarithm to the base 10. See, this is the formula. Negative logarithm to the base 10 of the hydrogen ion concentration. This square bracket represents concentration of hydrogen ion, which is expressed in mole per liter. Next, this is pH scale. At 7 pH, solution is neutral. And if we go from this side to this, decreasing order, 7 to less, then acidic nature increase. And when we go from 8 to 14, basic nature, alkaline nature increases. If we compare pH, a solution is having pH 2 and 6, which is more acidic. Can you tell? Yes, this solution having pH 2 is more acidic. If we compare pH 14 and pH 10, which is more alkaline, which is more basic? Yes, pH 14. Salt and their preparations. So definition of salt is a compound formed by the partial or total replacement of the ionizable hydrogen atom of an acid by a metallic ion or an ammonium ion. See this one, acid. When it is partially, here two hydrogens are there. When one hydrogen is replaced by sodium, then it is called partial replacement. So NaH, one H is still here, it is partial replacement. So salt is formed. Or complete replacement means when both the hydrogens are replaced by sodium. So here it is a salt formed by complete replacement. Next one is classification of salts. It is classified into 6 categories. First is normal salt. Normal salt is formed by complete replacement. As we have done this one, this reaction, this one is normal salt by complete replacement of hydrogen. Next, second one is acid salt. Acid salt are formed by partial replacement. As we have done first reaction, partial replacement is there, so it is acidic. Acid salt all usually contain hydrogens. Next one is basic salts. Basic salts are formed by the partial replacement of hydroxyl ions. See this one. Here two hydroxyl ions are there. One is replaced by Cl. So one remain here. It is a basic salt. Next, double salt, double salts are formed by the union of two simple salts that dissolve in water and crystallize. Two simple salts. Next one is mixed salt. Are those salts that contain more than one basic or acidic radical. In this, two basic radicals are there, Na positive and potassium positive. In this, two acidic radicals are there, O2 negative and Cl negative. Complex salt. Complex salt are those which on dissociation give a simple ion and complex ion. This is complex salt. Simple ion and complex ion. Next one is, it's very important, methods of preparation of salts, and these are methods, and here which salt is prepared by which method. See this one list I have written here. These are the methods, usually simple displacement, direct combination or synthesis. These are the methods. Here I have written some salts with their method. These are very important. Usually one of them or two of them are asked in final examinations. So barium sulfate, it is prepared by double decomposition or precipitation. Similarly these two also. Then ferrous chloride, simple displacement, ferric chloride, direct combination, sodium nitrate, neutralization. In this list, salts are given with their methods. For example, NaCl salt, by which method it is prepared, direct combination. Similarly, zinc sulfate, simple displacement. So various salts are given with their methods. So try to learn it. And here the explanations how these salts are prepared is given. Please go through from this. Next is the properties of salts. This is solubility curve. Here x-axis temperature is taken in degree Celsius and this side solubility in gram is taken. If at least 1 gram of substance can dissolve in 100 ml, then it is of a water at 298 Kelvin, then it is soluble salt. Next, if 0.1 gram to 1 gram is soluble, then it is partially soluble. If less than 0.1 gram is soluble, then it is insoluble salt. So come to this solubility curve. So this one, sodium chloride solubility is almost same when we increase the temperature. Temperature is 40, 60, it is same. And calcium sulfate, its solubility first increases, then decreases. It's important. Then next, solubility of potassium bromide, it is continuously increasing with the increase in temperature. If 40, solubility is this much. If a 60 temperature, solubility is around this much, so increases. Next one is table given. All the compounds of ammonium, sodium and potassium are soluble in water. Then all nitrates and nitrites are soluble. All chloride like potassium, sodium chloride, sodium bromide, magnesium bromide are soluble except this. This one is important. Lead chloride, it is soluble in hot water but not in cold water. All sulfates are soluble except these. These are exception. These are insoluble. Next, hydrolysis of salts. So when salts are dissolved in water, hydrolysis means dissolved in water, then they give weak acid, strong alkali, or strong acid, weak alkali, or strong alkali, strong acids. So let's learn. Sodium carbonate, when dissolved in water, it gives carbonic acid and sodium hydroxide. This is weak acid, strong alkali. Then next one is ferric chloride, when dissolved in water, it gives HCl. It is strong acid. Strong acid means ionizes completely, and this one is weak base. And then if NaCl dissolved in water, it gives HCl and NaOH, both are strong, so solution is neutral. Here if the strong alkali you are getting, your solution is alkaline. If you are getting strong acid your and weak base, your solution, whole solution is acidic, you can see. Next one is salt formed from weak base like ammonium hydroxide and weak acid. The nature of a solution depends upon dissociation of ions. Next one is water of crystallization. Yes, so some crystals, they unite with particular amount of water, then that particular amount, that fixed amount is called water of crystallization. Here copper sulfate pentahydrate, water of crystallization is this one. Next one is efflorescence. Efflorescence is the property of some salts to lose wholly or partially their water of crystallization when their crystals are exposed to dry air even for a short time. Next one is Glauber salt. It will lose its water of crystallization wholly, means all the water molecules are lost. Next, magnesium sulfate heptahydrate. It is also this is also partial loss. This is important. If the temperature is higher, it means there is more heat, so higher the rate of efflorescence. Hygroscopic substances. Some substances absorb moisture from the atmosphere but without dissolving in it. Itself does not dissolve in water, which is absorbed by the salt. Examples are very important. And next one is deliquescent substances. These are water soluble substances. When they expose to atmosphere, they absorb moisture from the atmosphere and dissolve itself in the moisture. This one hygroscopic, does not dissolve, but this one dissolves in the moisture. Next one is examples And the last topic is drying and dehydrating agents. Drying agents are those certain substances remove moisture from other substances and therefore called desiccants, desiccating agent or drying agent. Example: concentrated sulfuric acid, phosphorus pentoxide, silica gel, etc. Dehydrating agent are substances that can remove water molecules which are chemically combined with the substance. These water molecule chemically combined, and this one cannot remove chemically combined water. This is the difference between drying and dehydrating agent. And one question, important question, is that table salt, it turns moist when exposed to dry air, because table salt, it contains magnesium chloride and calcium chloride as impurities, which are deliquescent substances. It means they will absorb moisture from the atmosphere and dissolve in the moisture. But sodium chloride, pure sodium chloride, it does not deliquescent, as it does not have magnesium chloride and calcium chloride impurities. And one thing more, if you have any query regarding any chapter, please ask in comment section. Thank you.